Okay. Coming to you from my basement in 2023. This is LesCast. I am your host, Amanda Costner, and we are recapping season 3, episode 7 of the L Word Generation Q. We're single. We've got our tetas pierced, and we're ready to go. Okay, we're not actually single. Speaking of we, with me today is a very talented comedian and producer. Make sure you check out Amy's new show, Laugh Dance, at Whiskey Girl in Chicago, starting Friday, February 3rd, which is linked in the description. Please welcome to the podcast, Amy Nigo Schwartz.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. Amy, how was your new year?
It was good, I just danced and that was pretty much it. Cliche.
I just wanna dance. I
was like, I just have to dance, you know me.
I know, so you, Amy. So always wanting to just dance.
Twirl and gallop around. But no, I got a little turned up.
Okay.
But not too out of control. It was a good balance, I felt.
A nice, you want to get a little turned up, but not so turned up that you end up in jail the next day.
Exactly.
So you got that covered. Well, we've got a very riveting FLETCHER performance to talk about, followed by some skinny dipping. Let's not waste any more time. We start things off all up in Finley's feelings because Sophie has just broken up with her. Amy, do you have advice for how to handle when you've just broken up with?
Ooh, I like going out all the time. That's kind of my vibe, but I don't know. Everyone's different, so when I got divorced, I went out and ranted on stage, but it worked. It worked because I'm short, so when I get angry, no one is bothered by it. They're like, "That silly little one." So I just went on stage and was like, "Blah blah blah blah," and people just like, ha 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 ha, pat on the head, So like that's what I did.
Just like, I've just been broken up with.
Yep. Oh yeah. I spilled all the tea immediately.
Was it a good set?
Oh yeah. I like have like a half hour off of it now.
Nice.
But
wow.
Finley, I mean, I don't know. Finley doesn't really perform, but obviously she shouldn't go out and party. That's not the key.
Right.
But
she did a good job.
You know what?
She didn't drink.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know what, if I was her, maybe sports, which she does end up bowling. So
is bowling a sport? Is
that good question?
I mean, I'm a golfer. I can't really talk, so
right.
Is
golf I know. I feel like if you can eat during the sport, is it a sport?
If you can be wasted and still perform at top level.
Right.
Well, you heard it, folks. If you get broken up with, just head to your local open mic and start doing some stand-up comedy.
Oh, I did a lot of Krav Maga. I highly recommend that.
Okay. Is that like, so? That's where is that like
mixed martial arts?
Okay, I knew it was some sort of fighting type something.
Self-defense. Yeah, it's like real like street fighting self-defense.
Oh my god, you're gonna have to show me some Krav Maga moves next
time.
Oh
yeah,
hang out. Yeah, I like to make my room pitch black, and then I wrap myself in a blanket like a cocoon, and I just cry all day while listening to sad Daft Punk songs. That's my thing.
Daft Punk. Interesting. That's probably like a good way to let it out. I feel like there's different emotions to go let out. That's a good way to let out the sadness. You can't deny the sadness. I gave more tips for anger. That's more my motto, but you gotta let it all out, right?
Those emotions out. Once again, Finley's sponsor Tess is busy. This is not Tess's fault. Her mom died, but I do feel like a running theme of season 3 is that Finley doesn't have a great sponsor.
No, she can't get a hold of anyone. She needs it.
But she does. She's able to get Carrie, who she turns to.
Which I think is a better sponsor. I don't know. Maybe I just want Rosie O'Donnell back, but I had a feeling she was going to go to her.
I didn't. I was, like, totally shocked.
Oh.
I was thinking it might be, like, a relative or something, and I was like, "Wait, I thought all her family was in Missouri," and then it was Carrie.
Ah. Yep. I feel like Rosie O'Donnell has, like, a good, like, what's like a mentor type vibe to her, you know? I
Yeah,
dug
Ca
it.
I do too, and if this is how we keep Carrie, great. Keep bringing
Mhm.
us Carrie and Finley, and she is, like, doing a better job than Tess, who is al just, like, always too busy.
Yeah, Tess is like, "Let's open another nightclub and another."
"I'm working my 3rd bar during your sobriety."
Yeah.
Did you notice how nice Carrie's house was?
Oh, yeah, I guess she's a lawyer, right?
Yeah, but
So
she's a public defender, so I was like, "Oh,
oh,
that surprised me."
Unless I met a public defender who he told me he would take these, like, bougie cases to pay his, like, bills for the year, and then he would take whatever, like, cases he was passionate about after that. So I don't know, maybe that's I'm just justifying the writing.
No, wait, actually, I
It's
okay, that makes a lot of sense because I don't know any public defenders, and so
uh,
they're able to choose some cases. I assumed they just got
well,
s
yeah, see, the one that I knew see, I don't know, if you're, like, assigned by the state or city or whatever, I don't think you can do that necessarily. I think they have a ton of cases, like, too many, but I think you can if you're, like, pro bono, I think you can choose, like, people who are really in need and people who, like, have a lot of money, kinda, like, cherry
Oh,
pick.
nice. Okay, that makes sense then. Well, while Finn is in survival mode over at Carrie's, Sophie has taken the breakup quite well. She's pierced her nipples, she's goofy, joking around, going to get her hair done.
She's
Um,
numb just like her nipples after the bag of peas.
I feel like the show is gonna put Sophie and Finley back together, but I love
Ooh.
single Sophie. I'm into her being single.
Oh. I kind of find Sophie to be a little bit of a sociopath. I don't know. Like, I do
Why?
think she should be single, but I just like, I don't know. Like, she did ayahuasca and she was like, it's all about me. And it just, the way she like dumped her, she like, it was so bizarre to me. She ran home and then was like, oh, it's over. Like, she ran home like she was excited. And I don't know, she just seems kind of heartless about it. But it was the right move. Like, dragging out would have made it worse. Like, that would have been cooler. So
Yeah, it
I
doesn't make
support
sense
single
with
Sophie.
her being so concerned that she would cause Finley to drink again for, like, a year, and then now, definitely not thinking about how to
Yeah.
package the breakup.
Yeah, I don't know. I find her a little bit heartless, but I think single is the way for her to go. Like, I was like, maybe she should be single and then poly, and then that would be better. I don't know.
If she's always cheating on everybody, but maybe that's not because you can cheat on your partner while you're being polyamorous too, but
Right.
certainly maybe give it a chance.
Yeah. Be a little more open about it. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, she did not seem to worry about it.
No. I see the one of the reasons I like single Sophie is because I think Rosani Zayas has become a little bit of a breakout star in season 3, like in the absence of
Mm,
Jennifer Beals, Laurel Holloman, and Sepideh Moafi. And I
mhm.
think she is one of the newer Gen Q actors who can carry a scene on her own and who can carry a storyline that doesn't have a big dramatic cheating scandal and breakup and all that.
That makes sense. Yeah. I'm
But
excited to
we
see what she ends up doing.
Yeah, I think that they're gonna put her back with Finley, but I've been wrong before.
Mm, all right. Prediction.
Dani, who is not just an album release party planner, but also now is managing talent, including Dre, comes over and asks Sophie, "Is it okay if Dre comes?" Then Micah starts annoyingly running the blender because he thinks it's too soon.
Yeah. I just
Um,
imagine Micah just like stomach sounds like that blender all the time.
why?
Because
Because
Micah
he's like
seems
such a
he's just so
like,
nervous. He's a nervous
yeah.
Nelly.
I was thinking about Micah yesterday, I don't know why, and, his character, and how I think it's important to Marja Lewis Ryan to have, trans representation on the show. That's better than what we got with Max early on. But they made the trans character like the most miserable, lacking in any personality, like just I feel like no effort has been put into Micah.
Mhm.
I was just thinking about like, oh, he's so no fun and like not a fun character.
Yeah, I know. Like, why are they? I kind of am starting to think they have a sleep disorder. Why are they going to bed before 9 every night? They're always
Right?
like, "Oh, goody, can we go to bed before 9?" It's like something's wrong
Yeah.
here. That's not. Are they in their 20s? How old are they? I don't know. A
Yeah.
little wild.
It is wild. I agree. I mean, I think they want to present him as like he's like very business and all he cares about is his job or whatever, but then we like never really see him doing anything that he cares about because we stopped seeing him in his job.
Yeah,
Um
that could be it. Maybe they're like trying to make him not problematic, and in doing so, they kind of water him down some. I'm
yes,
guessing,
he's so watered down. I just yeah, just kind of a disappointment for Micah.
right? He could live a little.
Yeah. I thought after the episode with Max, where Max was, like, sort of giving
Mm,
Micah permission to, like, have fun even though you wanna start a family and stuff, I thought we would see a little bit more fun Micah, but no, just naps and
no,
not fun.
he's like,
Uh
yes, I get to be an old dad. And he hasn't even had a child yet.
why are they acting like Dre is, like, a huge love of Sophie's past? Are we supposed to be reading between the lines that Sophie actually fell for Dre, and she's lying about it just being a one-night stand?
I kind of think it was more than a one night stand because she was a little vague about it. So I don't know. And then maybe too, like Sophie's just drawn to her stardom or something like that. That could be a thing too.
Mhm.
What do you
Well,
think? Do you think it was a long fling?
I think we're supposed to believe that Sophie is really into Dre, and I think also part of it is that I think they're introducing Dre as a new fun character, and they're showing like, "Oh, Drane's a little bit of a Shane where everybody thinks Dre is
Hmm.
hot and everybody is kind of drawn to Dre, and Dre can't even help it." Like Dre almost like accidentally flirts with Sophie at the club. Um,
I
but
agree. Shane can't be Shanein forever. Can't
yeah,
be
they
like
gave Shane a
80.
break. Shane's not even
Can't
in
keep.
this episode.
They're gonna bring the show back, and Shane's like 80, still the sex symbol of the show. Like we can't. It can't go on forever.
I think that some people do see Shane that way, and they
Yeah.
want Shane to keep just being in the nursing home, just playing all the
Yeah.
little, Betties there.
Yeah, I do believe they wanted to give the audience what they wanted a little bit with the Shane moves, but they've got to find a new Shane. They're testing out Dre. I kind of like that Sophie seemed like hooked on Dre because I really like Dani. So I was like, oh, the tables have turned.
Yes. Was that karma? How
That's how I felt about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that
Hmm.
they were trying to show that, like, look, you had Dani, you had an affair behind Dani's back, and you were gonna marry Dani, even though you were having this affair. And now, look, you want this person that you both like, and look, this person wants Dani. You should have, maybe there was some undervaluing of Dani going on.
Finally, Dani got some love. I also like Dani just couldn't catch a break for a while, and it seems like the most like have it together, grounded, nice person, which I guess makes sense. She's like the Charlie Brown of the show, right?
Yes.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed that. I was like, all right, Dani has a win for once.
Mhm.
So I'm excited about that.
Meanwhile, Alice has invited Tom back into her life. This is something I could not have been more wrong about. Let me
Oh,
just, I'm admitting it, listeners. For like weeks now, I've been saying they're going to get Tom and Alice back together, and No, actually, he seems really to just be a conduit for the transition back to Tasha, you know?
Yeah.
What do you think of Tom and Alice, Amy, first of all?
I really like Tom and Alice. I just feel like that actor's so likable, and but I see how like the show wouldn't want to pair her with him because like he's a man.
Right. Well, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? There's been a lot of debate the last couple weeks. Like, you are a bisexual person. Do you think is it wrong for like the fans of the show to just want Alice to end up with a woman? Or for you, is it more about like, I don't care, I just want it to be a strong couple?
Yeah, I like Alice a lot, so I want her to have someone decent. So I felt like Tom was like the best option so far. But I get as a bi person, I get like, being like, all right, I'm not gonna date men again. Learn that lesson. Like, yeah, they're fun, but no.
But
But
Alice has been treated the best by a man, it seems
that's
like.
what I'm saying, exactly. Like, and everyone's different. Like Alice, I don't know, she's kind of a little more feminine than me. So like she might pair better with a man. I find that a lot of men think it's cool you're bi, and then you beat them at sports, they're real upset about it. Like they're like, it's hot, you're a strong lady, and then suddenly it
Not
does
so
not
hot.
balance well. Yeah, so
I'm just
they
picturing
get in
you,
their
like,
feelings.
whooping some dude's ass in tennis or something. Love it.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like I always say, like, oh, when I was like dating, I'd be like, I didn't date many women. I'd be like, that seems like a lot of work. And then I got married, and I was like, this is way more work. So like, I totally get being like, yeah, no. But in Alice's case, there are those dudes out there that are really cool and chill and confident of themselves, and like he seems like that rare super catch. So yeah, I'm gonna be kind of bummed if they don't end up together. I'm still holding out hope. We'll see.
Really? Even though he's having a kid with somebody else?
Yeah.
You think they might? No, they're not gonna have him leave his newly pregnant girlfriend for Alice after she dumped him in front of the Eiffel Tower?
Yeah, yeah, that was bogus. He probably won't be interested in her, which is fair. I was curious about we'll see about I'm drawing a blank on her name. I want to call her Chasing Amy, the
Oh,
actor from the
Taylor.
movie. Yes, I'm curious if she'll come back. We'll see.
I
Or if
don't
that
think
was just
so.
a drop in. Probably a drop in. Yeah.
So you
Yeah, I
liked
don't know.
Taylor and Alice?
I think I just was like happy they brought in nostalgic like first bi movie actor ever. So yeah, they didn't really seem to have that crazy chemistry.
Oh, is
But
Joey Lauren Adams? She's bi.
I'm not sure if she is, but the film Chasing Amy was like one of the first films that had like a bi person in it.
I thought she was a
And
lesbian in that movie. I honestly have not fully seen that movie.
I have
Just
to rewatch it because I haven't seen it since high school, but I think she's buying it.
oh,
But see, I think it was the time period where, which I think this happens to a lot of bi people, where you think you have to be gay or straight and you don't really realize that bi is an option. So I kind of took that film as that's what her character was dealing with. But I haven't seen it in years, so I don't know.
I need to just, like,
I should
watch
watch it
it
again.
from top to
Yeah,
bottom because 'cause I've
we
never.
should watch it and get
Oh,
some
we could have
thoughts.
a double date, a little movie night with the
Yeah.
cats.
Oh, I was gonna say, I love that Alice gets the cat because I feel like they're just like, you know what? She's gonna be this queer cat lady. That's her life.
They're just going full in on that queer lady stereotype.
Yep, yep, and I'm for it as a lady with two cats.
You know what? I am also a cat owning lady, and yes, I loved it too. There's been a severe lack of cats in the first 3 seasons,
Yes,
so
right? In general, why are all the
yeah.
cats L word?
Come on, come on. They're finally getting us a very, very cute kitty. I don't know
Hmm.
how in the world nobody noticed an adorable kitty locked in a vent for however
Right?
long it's been in there. Like, it seems like it might have been in there for weeks the way Alice was
Yeah,
talking.
how did it eat? I
Oh
like
well.
that he said that it was if it was a talking rat, he'd like to see it because
I know. Yeah,
that's totally
Donald
an
J sounds
argument me
so
and my
funny.
girlfriend would have. Yeah, like no, we don't want to see it. I got to see it.
Wait, is your SO deathly afraid of rats as well?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So is Ro. That's so funny they have that in common. Like, Ro is
Hmm.
debilitated. Like, she cannot walk
Oh
in the alley at night. She has trouble, like, taking our dog on walks at night. It's like a debilitating fear, but it is Chicago. We have some
yeah,
giant.
yeah. I was like, maybe we should watch Willard, and I was like, maybe that's a bad idea.
Wait,
Have you
what
seen
is
that
there a lot
movie?
of rats in Willard?
Yeah, that's like the whole movie is
Oh.
he
So
basically becomes like the Rat King, but he's a human. It's crazy.
my god, let's tell her it'll be a cute movie about cats and then just play that movie. She'll be disturbed.
I feel like it like in the beginning it's creepy, and then like you get over your fear of rats when you watch it. It's like it's
Oh,
like it's like some kind of ther-
like shock
therapy,
therapy. Okay, it'll be good.
submersive therapy.
It'll be nice. She'll be scarred for life.
Yeah, it'll either work or end up horribly. Yeah.
Oh well, I'll risk it. Back at Carrie's, for some reason, Finn has really decided that like cooking a successful lasagna is her mountain she has to climb, but like burning
Hmm.
food is kind of her thing. Um, I'm kind of wondering, Amy, who's watching Dana's? Who's watching the bar? Like Tess and Shane are off in Vegas for the funeral. Is Dana's just closed? Do they have, like, a
Good
sign on the front door
point.
that says, like, "Closed due to cheating affair scandal"?
We had to pull the fire alarm again.
Uh,
I hope that is what the sign said.
okay. Yeah, let's just go off.
You
Let's just play it on
understand. Closed due to drama.
and, all the everybody, like, walking up to who would patron that bar, they were probably like, "Yeah, mhm, I do
Mhm.
understand. This
Yeah,
makes sense."
yeah, yeah.
When Carrie asks Finn, "May I approach?" and hugs her, I was like, "Oh, I want Carrie to hug me."
Right. That was very sweet. It was like her kind of lawyer thing, may I approach, but also,
Oh, yeah.
you know, very I don't know, like consensual hugging. Wouldn't say I would normally enjoy that, but it was good
You're not a
in a
hugger,
TV
Amy?
show. No, I mean in a TV show. It
Oh,
sounds
okay.
boring, but they did it well.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a nice hugging scene. Amy, do you know what the kids are doing these days?
The kids.
Apparently, they're cooking, according to Tom. They're just, like, sautéing
Oh,
and
cookbook.
broiling and roasting. I thought that was a funny line.
That would explain Finley, I guess, trying to cook that
That's
lasagna.
what the kids are doing. They're just
Kids
cooking. Oh, those
cooking.
2 are probably related. Yeah.
Maybe I feel like a TikTok thing. I'm guessing. Like I
Mhm.
noticed that Frito pies have become big outside of Texas,
Yep.
and then someone said TikTok, and I was like, oh, of course.
It's all because
So
of TikTok.
yeah, mm-hmm. The kids are cooking. I mean, that's better than stealing Kias, right? So
Yes. Anything to get them to stop stealing. Dre arrives to the big Fletcher event. What did you think of Dre's outfit? I was really into that button up Dre's wearing, that
oh
colorful. I thought that was pretty awesome.
yeah, I thought it was all right. I don't know. I'm more of a jacket gal when I perform, but
Um, let's see.
which is nice.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of outfits, but so did you like Fletcher's outfit, the blue with the blue blazer?
Yeah, I like Fletcher's outfit. I thought it was pretty cool.
But you're not
You dug it?
super hot on it. I feel like you're like, "Eh, it was okay."
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I wasn't blown away by it,
What
but
did you
I
think of
wasn't paying
Fletcher's.
that much attention.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry.
I
Me
was
just
kind
stuck
of
on the
more
blazers.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess I was like hooked in the I thought something crazy was going to happen during the performance for some reason.
I mean, well, we were supposed to think Sophie falling into the pool was the big crazy thing, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't
That was
really
just
have that effect.
that was cringy.
Yeah.
I like that her sister was just like, "Ah, I don't even know her. Her sister is just so over it. Her sister's like, I could have had Dani as an in-law, now you're falling in the pool. Man,
I don't think I wouldn't have
over it.
stopped performing if I was Fletcher. I would have just kept going. I would have been like,
No,
"Oh, this is getting started."
right. She would have like hit her head or something, but
Right. Yeah.
yeah, I guess it was sort of an intimate show though. It wasn't like a large like rock venue, but still, right? You think you'd just be like, "Woo, party started," and then people start jumping in. Like
Yeah,
that'd be a cool moment performing. But
exactly. That's what we would do as stand-ups. We'd be like, "All
I
right,
feel,
everybody in the
yeah,
pool."
right. Let everyone get in. I feel like Fletcher like enjoyed the awkwardness of it. That's what I think. Fletcher stopped it to be extra awkward because then later Fletcher they were like, "Oh, well, a little messy is
Mhm.
interesting or whatever."
Do
So
you follow Fletcher in real life? Are you a Fletcher fan?
I just started hearing Fletcher recently, so I don't really know much about Fletcher. Yeah,
She's
I'm
like
out of the loop.
she used to date this, like, super popular YouTuber, Shannon Beveridge, and so
Oh,
and they did a music video together, and she wrote a song about it, and that was, like, when I was introduced to Fletcher, because of all that YouTuber drama. I
YouTube,
like
yeah.
her, though. I like her music. It's, like, pretty good.
Yeah, it sounded pretty good. I'm not usually a big pop person, so the fact that I didn't hate it means I feel like it's good quality.
What are you listening to, Amy, when you're just, like,
I'm an old
longboarding?
curmudgeon punk.
I was gonna say I almost was gonna say, I bet you listen to punk. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to a lot of stuff, hip hop, ska, reggae. I mean, I listen to pretty much everything, but not a super super pop fan. But
Yeah.
I'll listen to some pop, but I'm
Yeah,
picky about
Fletcher's
my pop.
pretty, like, bubblegummy, like, pretty but still, it's still good, like you said. It's pretty good for pop. Okay, what do you think of the bowling sequence? We get a couple of different bowling sequences,
Ooh,
and they're
yeah,
wearing their
little bit of pandering. What was
drink.
the name of the Britney?
Oh, Britney, Spears.
Yeah, Britney Spears. I can't believe it's not gutter. I like that one.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently that was on another TV show, like, a few years ago, so people were saying this is not, like, an original thing, but still funny.
Oh. The gutter part or the Britney Spears?
Just the name of the team being I can't believe it's not gutter. I guess that's been, like, a reference in
Mm.
some other TV show. I can't remember what show it was, but
Ooh.
yeah.
All right, all right. Yeah, I knew it was some kind of pandering, plagiarism, something.
Well, it worked for me. Actually,
No,
I
it was good.
wanted
Yeah, it's
more
fine.
bowling. Like, I wanted more jokes, and
Ooh.
I wanted a little bit more shots of them just having fun because it was a
I
little
liked
bit
it.
serious.
I like that they both had the like bowling wrist guard thingy. I was like, this is gay as hell. What is
Protect the
happening?
wrist. Yeah, is there a
Yeah.
lesbian or, like, a lady lovin' lady bowling league here that we can join? That, like, made me wanna
Ooh.
bowl.
Yeah, I don't know of one. There should be if there isn't.
We can
I
start
don't see
one.
why there wouldn't be,
We'll come
right?
up
I
with a
always want
more
a
original
shuffleboard,
name.
but
Oh, you know what? Ro loves shuffleboarding. We'll have to go do some shuffleboarding.
ooh, hell yeah. But
Um
yeah, no, I enjoyed that scene a lot. I thought it was like it was interesting. I don't know that like I don't know why I'm stumbling on my words, but I was like at first felt really bad for Carrie when there's no interest. I was
Mhm.
like, Carrie's sweet. What? Come on. Like, what are you talking about? And then Dina was like, not her type. Hello. But like as a bi person, like fan, whatever, it went over my head at first that they're both more masculine. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, and so then I'm pretty excited that they're moving past it.
Yeah, I think that, like, this is something that even I, in my own relationship, sometimes, like, if Ro and I are dressing up to go somewhere, we will think we need to dress like a heteronormative couple, and one of us needs to be more
Mm,
femme and the other more masculine. And, mask for mask love does exist. It is out there. There
hmm
are butches who date and, marry and fall in love with other butches. But I think it's interesting that they address this because it is a little bit of a hang up, I think, for some butch lesbians. Like, oh, and I do think part of it is like the societal expectation that you be a femme presenting and a male presenting if you're in a couple. So
Yep. Oh yeah. I feel like that's definitely a thing. Like even like I feel like even like my dad lately will be like over the holidays we got like a cooking gift and my dad immediately handed it to my girlfriend and was like and I was like, I cook too. And he was like, oh, do you? You know, I was like,
he's like, "You're the man. She's the
yeah,
woman, right?"
yeah. My dad's always, now he's like trying to give me like ladies advice. He's like, when you travel for business, he's like, never say how much fun you had. So it's like now he thinks, yeah, it's like
Oh, man. That's
like
awesome.
I'm the dude, and I mean, typically he's right. It's usually accurate, but not always. Like I definitely do
Right?
cook. Yeah,
Okay. There you go. Yeah,
but
I
yeah, no, so I
actually
get it. It's cool they addressed it.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
I've had
you cook
somebody
too, right?
who the man was, and they were like, "Well, you have long hair, so it can't be you, but you seem like the man." I've had somebody ask that, and I'm just like, "I don't know how to
Ah,
answer this."
that trips up straight people. That's hilarious. That's great. I love it. Never cut your hair just to confuse straight
Yeah,
people.
right? Let's freak them out. They don't know what's going on. So, let's talk a little bit about Angie and her teacher or professor or whatever his title is. I gotta be honest, I have not given a single fuck about this plot line from minute 1. But
Oh,
what are
see,
your thoughts?
I went to my classic thing I do with a lot of American TV where I said, is this supposed to be cute or creepy?" They think it's
Awesome.
cute, right? Because I don't think it was creepy when they first hooked up. I didn't think it was creepy when they first class. But then the more I thought about it, when they continued to date, it's like she's not a student; she's a freshman. I feel like there's a huge difference between a freshman and just even like a sophomore.
Yep.
Freshman's almost like a high school kid. Like it's their first time away from home. Like they're, and then I'm thinking like, okay, he's probably like maybe a master's degree student. He's not that old. But I'm like,
Mhm,
he's got to be at least probably like 24, I'm guessing. And she's probably 18 and it's legal.
mhm.
But I'm kind of like, yeah, I was glad that it was kind of coming to an end because I didn't find it cute at all.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I thought they were gonna have this go to a place where, like, Bet comes home and can't is like, "I can't believe," and, like, goes back to angry
Oh,
Bet, and, like, we get some sort of dramatic scene out of it.
that would have
But
been fun.
really, instead it just kind of fizzled out with him being like, "Oh, I am your teacher." Now, some people online thought that he really just used her for sex, and then once he realized that he had gotten what he wanted and that he was maybe risking his future, that he sort of tossed her away. What do you think of that like
Oh yeah, as soon as the CAA agent showed up, he's like, "Oh," like
Mhm.
completely. But not Dani. Dani is not CAA. We don't know what she's affiliated with,
Not yet.
how she got licensed suddenly. But but yeah, no, I kind of felt that way. Yeah, I think he just like you said was like, "Oh, it's not worth the risk," and yeah,
But
I
then he
mean,
also says, "I'm falling in love with you."
yeah, but that also I find creepy when men are like I feel like men do this all the time where they're like, "I'm in love with you," and they like barely know you, and you're like, "Ugh," like that's not. You gotta get figure out what feelings are, buddy. That's lust. Like
Good point.
I just feel like I don't know, like they don't seem like they've been dating that long. I mean, I know some people do fall quick, but to
I
me it seems
mean,
like they barely know each other. I don't know.
it's kinda our people are known for, us sapphics, is falling hard, but, uh
Not me. I am not about it. Slow it down, kids.
okay. Back at the Fletcher album release party, Sophie enters looking very classic in a green, evening gown. Now, I saw mixed reviews on Sophie's look.
Mm.
Some people were saying this was unrealistic for her character to suddenly go this femme. What did you think?
She brought back that ayahuasca hair.
Yes! Oh, I hadn't even connected the
Mhm.
2, yeah.
Oh,
She's a
yeah,
man,
yeah.
Lucy.
Yep, it's all the ayahuasca. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think they were trying to make her look more femme. Maybe that, like, somehow they were able to tell that scene that people liked the way she looked in the ayahuasca episode. I don't know. I don't know how much they're pandering fans, but yeah, it's not really my look, but she's trying to live out her tripping days. True, I guess.
I feel I from time to time, I will go femme, and, like, this is years ago. One time I posted a picture on, I think, my Twitter or something, and it was me in a dress, and I got, like, roasted in the comments. They were like, "Oh, Amanda, that ain't your look." Like, people were, like, thrown off. So I felt like, "Oh, I didn't do a double take at all." I was just like, "Oh, she wanted to make
Ooh.
herself look hot," and I was like, and it worked. I thought she looked hot, so
See, I looked at it differently. I think the femme look makes sense for her, and I agree. I've had that happen to me too, where I've like worn a dress and people are like, "Oh, you're in a dress," and then it makes you like not want to wear one again. You're like, "Huh."
Uh-huh.
But no, for me, it wasn't so much how femme she was; it was how like straight her hair was and
Yeah.
blondish. So I don't know. I'm just not into the whole like I don't know. People do whatever they want, so I really have no opinion. But I don't know. I guess I'm more of a fan of like more natural hair. Just
That's a good
you know.
point. They may be a little, I don't know if, like, whitewashed is the right word, but
That's why,
maybe
yeah. That's why I felt a little weird about it because I know like some people feel pressure to kind of straighten their hair and how much products they can. Like I had a
Mhm.
friend who almost went bald from straightening her hair so much,
Oh,
like,
wow.
and she felt like pressure, I think, to have it straight from like her job and that. So like, I just, yeah, I guess but also people do whatever they want, like they want. It's
No, but
not like
that's a
for us
good
to
point.
say. So
I think we have to be careful about, like, especially from my standpoint of like, "Oh, let me just praise the crap out of Sophie because she, like, straightened her hair and, like, wore the conventionally attractive dress." Like, let me just put this out there. Sophie, just as hot with her curly hair and that, black leather jacket from, I think, episode 3? I don't know.
mm,
Anyways, Sophie's just hot to me, but that's a good point that, like, let's be careful that we're not just going gaga over, a black woman straightening her hair.
yeah, like Marilyn Monroeing it up or whatever. But
Mhm.
I thought though, like I could see her femming it up more, like presenting, and I think that would be fun for her. I think she would enjoy that. The character, she's ready to go out and have a good time and change it up.
Well, because 'cause I've never seen Sophie as, like, even androgynous, certainly not a butch, so, um, you know maybe a power top something, I don't know. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I always thought she presented more masculine than her. They made her personality seem, but I was like, but some people are like that. I know people like that, so I was like, that's cool. But if she's feeling like she wants to present more femme and she felt pressure not to, which I think is a thing too. I know like there's like some really femme, lesbians are like they feel like, oh, they have to be a little more queer looking or
Mhm.
something. So maybe she will like address something like that. I don't know. That'd be kind of
Yeah.
cool.
At the bar, Micah runs into someone who is like his twin, and it's too perfect. He runs to Maribel and tells her, "We have found the perfect sperm donor. Everything's going to be glorious." What did you take from this storyline here?
I thought it was creepy. I mean, I was happy for them to get it to find like a donor, but I was like, Micah and Michael, it's like Wario and like Mario, like Waluigi. One of them's evil. No,
Oh.
but no, I mean, it
Yeah.
was kind of cute, but kind of weird.
No, I
So,
was horrified, to be honest, just because I feel like for queer people who find themselves in need of sperm, or even if you're in a man loving man relationship and you need a
hmm,
donor, or an egg donor, or oh my god, I'm losing my mind. What is it called if you
surrogate.
carry a surrogate? Thank you, thank you. I do feel like this sets queers up for failure because, like, this would never happen. Like,
Yeah.
You don't find your perfect twin and then 5 seconds later you're like, "You wanna be my twin?" "Oh, yes! Perfect! I would be honored." Like, this is not something that happens, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Michael wasn't even weirded out at all.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. You don't know this guy. You don't know what he's doing. Like, maybe he's your twin as far as what they order the same drink and
Mhm.
what did they say? They said some weird sentence at the end, the same sentence.
Yeah, they said, like, a line at the same
I can't
time. Was it, like, a
remember. Yeah, there was a
cliche?
couple.
It was, like,
Yeah, there was
something
like a
about how
couple.
you can never have enough ice. It wasn't that, but it was, like, something really cliche.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, maybe you're twins on that, but maybe do a little bit of a background check on this guy. I'm very pro background checks on
Yeah.
men.
Oh, yeah. Oh, better safe than sorry. I did
Yeah.
love when Maribel was like, Top Chef kind of perfect, because someone who's been on Top Chef is also my ideal sperm donor, so,
Oh.
uh,
Mhm, mhm. Top chef, perfect. I didn't even notice that.
mhm. Yeah, I'm a big Top Chef fan, so,
Ooh.
yeah.
Yeah, someone who can cook, definitely a good trait to have.
Yeah. You
But
wanna be able to have your child cook for you, right?
isn't that the point of children?
Yes, yes, I
Have them
think
do
that's the point.
chores for you.
Back at the bowling alley, this is where we learn Misty says, "Oh, I'm not into Carrie." What did you think of Finn basically ignoring Carrie's wishes, going ahead in front of Carrie? Carrie's bowling like 5 feet
Mhm.
away, and Finley's just like, "Oh, Carrie's really into you. How do you feel about?" And it initially backfires, but then it ends up being, like, kind of rewarding Finley's behavior when Misty comes back and says, like, "Actually, I am into you." What do you think of this whole thing?
Mm. I was, like, just starting to like Finley. And then I was like, "Classic Finley." But I kinda liked it because it kinda stayed true to that Finley's growing, but then, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. She kinda backslide and wouldn't listen to anyone and caused a bigger mess again. And so I was happy for Carrie that she came back and relieved for Finley because Finley, I do believe, is trying, although I don't know why she can't listen. But yeah, I feel like she is trying to actually kind of grow. So I was happy the way it all worked out, even though in the beginning I was like, come on.
Yeah, I think for me, I wonder if they're trying to show that Finley continuously avoids dealing with her own problems and instead distracts herself with other people's problems.
Oh, yeah. That is a classic thing. I mean, there's always those people who are like always giving advice and their life is a mess. You know,
Yep.
get to handle your own life. Why are you telling me what to do here?
Right. It's always the people who've been divorced like 8 times, like, telling you what to do in your relationship. Yeah. uh, Finley, I'm the same as you. I was, like, starting to be into Finley again, although they really fast forwarded through, like, what Finley did to become this better person.
Right.
Um, but maybe they're showing that she didn't really become this better person, she just stopped drinking
Mm,
successfully.
yeah. I mean, it takes time. I guess, she just got sober. So, but yeah, she doesn't seem very self-aware. So she needs some kind of, I don't know if she's going to therapy, but she
God,
should.
I hope so. Yeah, she
Right.
should.
Mhm.
Okay. After a few drunken selfies, Sophie finds the hot girl in the red dress that she kind of bumped into at the beginning of the night. We will later learn this is the wife of the perfect sperm donor Micah and Maribel have
Mhm.
eyed. Um, yeah, that lady in the red dress looked familiar, but then when I looked up the actor, I couldn't see anything that I would
Hmm.
recognize them from. So I was just like mesmerized by a hot lady in a red dress.
You were like, "Lady in a red dress, seen it.
Yep.
I know her." Yeah, that I felt like I was like, "Of course." I kind of actually enjoyed that because it was just kind of silly Sophie shenanigans.
Mhm.
it was like, oh, of course. But it actually, I don't think was her fault, right? Like they didn't really say they were married or anything. So,
I mean, one of the things that got me fully on board with single Sophie is I don't think anything has been her fault. I mean, she was like pretty
mm,
uncaring in her breakup with Finn, but like even Sophie pursuing Dre, like Dani indicated that Dani was not going to pursue Dre. And so is it that
mm.
bad that Sophie pursues Dre? And yeah, so Sophie doesn't know that Lady in the Red, who was for sure hitting on her, in my opinion, like Sophie doesn't know that that lady's married. So not her
Oh yeah,
fault.
that lady came on strong. When she walked in,
Mhm.
that lady was like, "Oh," like,
Yeah. She was like a shark in the water.
yeah. So
Um,
not surprising.
we get Fletcher's performance. Okay, I was wondering this. Who would you like for them to I really enjoyed that they brought back, like, queer musicians because they did that all the time in the OG show, and I felt like
Mhm.
I loved that they did this for season 3. Who would you like if we get a season 4 to see perform on the show next season?
Ooh, I've got to think what kind of budget's realistic.
I know, because I was like, Janelle Monáe, and I was like, "Oh, they cannot
Oh
afford Janelle Monáe, like, they can't afford that, that's not gonna happen."
no,
Haley
I know.
Kiyoko,
Oh, that's yours.
they could
Yeah,
get her. Yeah, I think they could
I bet
afford
they
her.
could. I was thinking like Courtney Barrett, but that's way too high budget. But
Who?
I don't know. She's Australian, so
Oh,
maybe you
Courtney
could get her.
say her last name again.
Courtney Barrett, she sings like she was at the Taste of Chicago before the
Oh,
pandemic. So she does come to the States. I think
I just am
maybe
not
she'd be
familiar with her.
doable.
I'm
Ah,
just
well, she's Australian. She's like an indie rocker.
oh, okay.
Um,
Right on.
she's done like a Tiny Desk concert. Like that's the kind
Oh,
of.
that's pretty big if you've done Tiny
And yeah,
Desk.
that's what I'm saying. I think she's probably too big. I don't know. And then I know people that are like way too small. I would recommend like local people. I would love to
Mm.
see, but yeah, I don't know if anyone would care because they're like not that famous yet. But I don't know.
Um,
Some of them are kind of. I feel like King Rozzy would kill it. I don't know if you're familiar with King Rozzy
mm-mm. I know
or
King Princess, but not King Rozzy.
King Rozzy's like a local
Oh,
singer
okay.
here in Chicago. Yeah, who I think would be extremely like easy to get. That sounds not so nice. Easy to get, but like they're not famous where you have to pay
Right.
$1 million. But I feel like they would like people would be really into them. I think that would be kind of cool to use. I always want to like. I always fantasize of having like a TV show where you can like play really great indie artists in the show and like use that music so it'd be like affordable and then also build up those artists and like advertise for them. So like I think that'd be really cool if they brought up like upcoming artists too, like
That's a
more indie
good
artists.
point. Like, rather than use these artists to bring more attention to the show, I mean, they could still do that, but also, like, I love that idea, and I feel like a lot of the times when they brought bands or singers on in the OG, I didn't know who they were. That made me go look them up, and so that's a good point.
Yep. Maybe like you said, a little bit of both, like somebody big and then another episode like someone smaller, or,
Mhm.
something like that. And because there are people that are always like looking for new music. So
Yeah,
like you said, people would probably look them up and be
yeah.
into it.
Yeah, they should totally do that if we get a 4th season. Who knows?
Yeah.
Um, let's see. We get back to Alice and Tom. Like I said, we kind of already talked about Alice and Tom, but what are your thoughts on if they do bring back Tasha? What would you think about Alice getting back with Tasha?
Hmm. I don't know. There'd have to be some kind of big redemption or some kind of I don't know. I hold a grudge.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, "Oh, they weren't very good in the OG. Why would they try it again?" And I think it's
Yeah.
just because Rose Rollins is hot and, like, Rose Rollins and Leisha
Mm,
Haley together are hot, and so people just like hot couples.
that makes sense. Yep, yep. They're always going for the hot factor. Yeah, I don't know. You think they're gonna do it?
I do, I do. Because like,
Hmm.
why else would they
They
tease us
keep
with
bringing it
this
up.
in this episode? Like, isn't it so
Yeah.
random when Tom is like, "Tasha, that's who we wanna talk about." Like, why would some random ex-boyfriend who
Right.
thinks he's back for a book deal. Why would he be like, I think that they're going to bring her back?
Yeah. No, for sure. But will they actually get together, you think? You're saying yes?
Maybe maybe that's just what I want. Now that they've like given
Mm.
her Piddles sequel or whatever she's going to name the cat, maybe they'll have her end up alone. I don't know.
That's what I'm kinda thinking, that they might have her kinda be like, "Well, you have this great career and friends and all the success, like, maybe you can't have it all, and maybe, it's fine being alone." And then she'll either stay alone or sometimes I feel like when people stop looking, that's when they find someone.
I mean, that's how it is in real life, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a
Mhm.
cliche, but it's true. It's true, been true for
Yeah.
me.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I feel like it's multiple reasons, like, you have to be comfortable with yourself and yeah, you like that whole like you complete me. Like, nah, you need to be a whole person on your own, and then together you make a great thing. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I think that whole you complete like my other half is like, ooh, that's not good. You're half a
Right.
person.
Yeah,
No,
no,
like
you
it's
need a
better if you can.
whole. Yeah.
hmm So yeah, so I'm wondering if they'll make her accept being alone and that she'll find someone, or if she will just like be alone. Because there are people that like stay single that are like badass and enjoy themselves.
There are single people who are single for more than an episode. Not on this show, but yeah, now that
Right.
you say that, I think you may be right. And because I'm also thinking, are they going to want to have to bring Rose Rollins back for a potential fourth season? It's going to be so much easier if they bring her in for the cameo, give the people, the fans like
Yep.
me who want, give me my Tasha fix,
Mhm.
and then they could have Alice do whatever in season 4.
Yeah. That's kinda what I'm thinking makes the most sense.
Yeah, I'm
So,
actually
especially
agreeing
if
with
they don't
you.
have that much chemistry other than, like, looks, what are they gonna do with them?
Is there but that's a lot of like looks is a lot, Amy.
Well, yeah, that's true. They'll just keep boning, duh. Maybe they'll be, like a casual relationship
Maybe a hookup.
or yeah,
Uh,
just like a she'll just have this hookup buddy forever.
yes, that
That
would
would be
make
weird, that probably wouldn't happen.
yeah, no. As the Fletcher party is starting to wind down, we get a like pretty cute scene for me, in my opinion, with drunk Sophie and Dani. And for weeks, I've been like really harping on how
Mm,
unbelievable this like reuniting of their friendship is. But I do think it was necessary to the stability of the show. And if I just suspend disbelief and just accept that like Dani and Sophie are now besties again, I do enjoy like these types of scenes.
yeah, I found it unbelievable too when they're just, like, hanging out at the old apartment, but I do think there are people that are friends with their exes. I think in their case, it would just probably be like it would take longer for them to reconcile and be friends, right? Like I don't know how much time's passed here,
Yeah,
but
how long do you need if it was the day of your wedding, you found out your soon-to-be wife was having an affair with a mutual friend? What do you need? Like 2 years, 3 years?
the fact that it was public, I feel like, ooh, I don't know. Now I might be saying it's not believable at all, but
Right,
I don't
and it's,
know.
like, kind of embarrassing if you're Dani.
They have so many common friends, though. I think is part of the issue. Like, when I got divorced, I mean, there's a lot of people I wanted to stay friends with, but I wasn't as tight. When you're that intertwined with similar friends, maybe it's harder to avoid each other. That's how we'll believe it, maybe. I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, if it weren't for the public part, I would maybe believe it reconciling quicker. But
What
yeah,
did you think of the scene where Sophie's drunk and Dani's, like, taking care of her, and they're, like, kinda laughing together?
I mean, even in friendship, Danny's got to pull all the weight.
Yes,
But no,
yes.
but I don't know. I think Danny kind of was like laughing it off, like, ah, Sophie. I feel like maybe she was kind of like, I dodged a bullet. I don't know.
Yeah, in the end, I got the better deal.
Right? Like that was embarrassing, but I can laugh this off. But if we were married, this would be annoying. So
Yeah.
I got out good. So yeah, I don't know. I thought it was nice.
I thought, Rosani Zayas, like, nailed that, like, drunk at 2 a.m. Like, it's not easy, in my opinion, to be drunk as an actor. A lot of times people, like, just
Mm,
don't get it right. It's, like, too over the top. But I was
Yeah.
like I was like, yep, I've been her and I've been the Dani where you're like, okay, just get in the cab. Okay. You know?
hmm I've been the drunk one that is also the Dani many times.
That's a doozy when you gotta be the Dani and you're also Sophie.
Uh-huh. I've been in that position many times. So,
Amy,
yeah, I get it.
question. Do you play
Mhm.
Wordle?
I do not, but my girlfriend plays it religiously.
Does it ruin her self-esteem?
Oh.
Like how Carrie says? She's got like a funny line. She's like, "I have to stop playing Wordle. It's just killing my self-esteem."
I'm sure it would kill mine.
Do you know what it is? I don't
Um,
even know what it is. Is it like Scrabble?
it kind of. You have to like it's like it's like adult, well not adult. It's like Wheel of Fortune, but like
Uh,
not.
like
I don't know.
Hangman?
I got too bored when I was listening to the rules. I don't really yeah, it would kill my self-esteem, but I am ADHD and borderline dyslexic, so not my
Okay.
cup of tea.
Got it.
But
Got
no,
it.
yeah, I saw her. I like elbowed her, and then I saw her text later when we were watching the show that her goal was to have 365 days of Wordle wins, and she had two down and 363 to
This is your
go.
girlfriend?
Yeah, and I was like, that sounds awful. Like, so
What
I
a
can
New
see you
Year's
rooting yourself.
resolution to have 365
I
days
know,
of Wordle.
right? I know. I was like, who are you? No, but I think it's pretty addictive. Yeah, I don't think people can get off of it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to
I've been
check this
there.
Wordle out. See what
Yeah,
all the hoopala's about.
I highly don't recommend it.
Okay. All right,
No, no,
maybe I
no.
won't.
Check it out. You might like it.
Were you a little thrown off when they cut to the Micah and Maribel sex scene while Sophie's, like, listening to them? Or were you like, "Oh, this is normal for this show," you know, they show lots of sex scenes.
I was like, okay, cool. They're showing some sex scenes here. Not that way, but like, I like that they're showing a variety of character sex lives, but like representation. I was like, all right, but then yeah, Sophie was like, hey, it felt very like you're in the dorm or like
Mhm.
college. But I mean, that when you do have a lot of roommates, I guess that's still
I
a
mean, they live
reality.
together. They don't really have anywhere else to go.
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't find that I found believable.
Right.
But yeah, it kind of switched it over a little
It was so
strangely. But
random to me. In the montage
yeah,
of the scenes they showed, I wasn't expecting it. I was like, "Ah!" I'm used to
I
it being
felt
the
like
very first scene.
they were trying to be comedic, but something with the edit went wrong. Not to slam editors. Editing is very difficult. But yeah, I felt like Sophia's character they were trying to make more comedic, which I am here for. I think that would be fun to kind of switch it up, have her get into more silly
Mhm.
situations. Like the girlfriend of the donor thing. I thought that was funny. Like I've
Yeah.
had something like that happen before. Not something like that, but similar. And it's kind of funny.
Wait, wait, you got busted with somebody's wife?
No, no, not that extreme. It was like I was at a party and it was like, I had a great set and people were, giving me drinks and this one chick kept bringing me all these fancy different craft beers, like really top shelf craft beers, like those ones that are like $20 a bottle more. And I was just drinking them down. And then I was like, "Oh, she's flirting with me, isn't she?" And then she literally was starting to try to give me a back massage and her boyfriend walked up and
Oh.
he was like, "That's where all my craft beer went," because there was all these empty bottles next to me. I was like, "Oh no!"
Oh, Amy,
And I
just
felt
shattering
bad.
relationships left and right with
He
your
ended up he was in the band that played on stage for the show I was in, and I kept running into him everywhere
Oh.
the rest of the year. And he'd always be like, "Hello, Amy."
Awkward.
So I thought it was funny. I mean, nothing happened. It wasn't like that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I don't know. I think it's kind of funny when guys come up and are like, "Hey."
Excuse me.
Yeah. But so I don't know. I think it'll be fun to have her. I feel like she's going to be on her single adventure and she's going to be getting into some nonsense. So I'm here for it. I
Yeah,
think they could make it comedic.
I'm always wondering, like, do you think they have somebody punching up these scripts? Because it could use punching up.
Ooh, they could hire us.
Yeah,
Is that
like,
what you're saying?
hello, me and Amy are just right here. We're totally willing to punch up your script. Showtime. Come on.
Clearly, we can help you with this.
Because, like, they could up the comedy for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I don't really think they are trying to punch it up much, right? I don't know. Maybe now they're. I feel like now they're maybe starting to a little bit.
They
So
need it.
or trying to. I don't know. Yeah,
They lost their
they need
minds.
us.
As soon as Gigi, Bet, and Tina were gone, I would have been like, we need to make this funny. We need like some laughs to distract.
I do think it would be cool if Bet just came back, like you said, every once in a while and just was like, hell to the no. It's just like, because they made her all like mellow and chill. And
Mhm.
it would just be fun if they just bring her back, checking on Angie constantly. That would be hilarious. Like, you
Yeah.
could even make that comedic. I also enjoy how, okay, do you feel like that Bet always looks like she's going to cry when there's no reason to cry? Like, just randomly?
I think I believe that would be her very tightly wound anus. Like, just
But like sometimes she's just sitting there and she just looks like she's gonna cry and nothing's wrong, and you're like, okay. I feel like Angie did that in a scene in this episode, and I was like, great job, like daughter, like mother, like daughter. Like
do you remember which scene it was?
I'm trying to remember, but it wasn't a sad scene. It was like maybe when it was first going well with the boyfriend or
Mm,
something, and she looked like kind of happy, but then suddenly like she was gonna cry, which is a total Bet move. So
mhm.
I was all about it. I don't know if that actor did that on purpose, but yeah. So I feel like it'd be great to just like you just bring her in real quick and get the old fiery Bet in there. A couple episodes. There's a lot of like little. I don't know. Maybe she's filming something she really can't get away at all, or you know.
Well, they're coming back for episodes 9 and 10. Both her and Tina are, Laurel Holloman. But
Oh.
I think if there's a season 4, my understanding is that she's like left the show.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um so
And
yeah,
that's
but
when they've
who
got to
knows?
figure out the Dre character and
Mhm.
um yeah. I don't know. I think it's doable, but yeah, they maybe need to like punch it up a little bit. I guess the original wasn't really that comedic, but this show has a little bit more lightheartedness to it, so I feel like it wouldn't be weird to do.
But we did I okay, you're right. The original show was like crazy, right? Jenny, everything
Soap
crazy.
opera.
But
Hmm.
also
Jenny was comedic actually.
not intentionally. Okay,
Ah, her
I'm
writing.
thinking of all their
Whew.
scenes in the coffee shop and, like, other scenes, like, there was more, I think, comedic camaraderie, whereas, like, in Gen
Yeah,
Q, the comedy is more about the funny lines.
that's
So
true. Alice could be like funny with friends in the coffee shop. Yeah,
mhm.
yeah, yeah. But Jenny, we need a new Jenny.
Yeah. Oof. I don't know, a lot of the fans are raging right now listening to that. It's like, Jenny is very controversial.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
some people
Jenny
don't
was a
wanna even mention her, like Marsha Lewis Ryan
mess.
hates anything about the original show. But some people are like, "Justice for Jenny," you know?
Oh. Yeah, I just mean so much in like a creative character that's just like out there, like a little bit in space. I would enjoy seeing that. Like Jenny would just get. It just seemed like Jenny was like secretly dosing on acid all the time, and we weren't aware.
Wait, that explains a lot. That's how I'm
Right?
now gonna think of Jenny.
She was just secretly microdosing the whole time, and like sort of functioning, so no one noticed. But everyone's like, "What? Nah."
Yes, Jenny. They
Mhm.
sort of dangle a little bit of a storyline early in the first 2 seasons of Gen Q about Finn's family, like, but then nothing really ever came of it, and it's like, they're in
Yeah.
Missouri. But now I think we are going to meet, I assume, Sarah Finley's mother. What do you think about this? She sees her mom call her at the end of this episode.
Yeah, I'm curious because it seems like in the beginning she made it sound like she's in touch with her family well, but I kind of have the feeling there's going to be some tension with her family, which will be interesting to see. I actually have a good friend from Missouri who talks about how conservative it is. So I kind of wonder if they're going to have this kind of like they have a relationship, but there's some tension there, and so I'm thinking that's going to be a good storyline because I don't really remember the original L word really touching on that kind of stuff much. Unless I'm
Well, I
forgetting
mean, am
something.
I crazy? When does Jenny go back home? Is that to Missouri or something similar?
Oh, was
Right?
it?
And that's when Jenny
Mm,
meets Max. Anyways, yeah, I'm excited about this storyline. I think that everybody was interested in the Finn's background and like Finn had some issues with like religion in season 1. Maybe they'll
right.
pick that back up, who knows. But I'm very intrigued by this storyline. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're gonna have a character go to rehab, they've got to have a reason, right? Like
Yeah, like
this,
get into it.
yeah. Like why is she having such trouble? Like what's going on? So I think maybe they're gonna uncover that, and I think it maybe will be relatable for a lot of people because I think she's gonna have a relationship, but it's gonna be complicated. So I'm about it.
Yeah, same. What did you think of the Danny Dre, or as I've been calling them, Dranny? That's my ship name for them. What do you think of their skinny dipping scene?
Oh, yeah. My girlfriend was like, "Is this supposed to be romantic?"
I was kind of like, isn't this a public pool? But I guess like, it makes it hotter if it's a public pool.
Yeah,
I don't know.
right. I feel like there was skinny dipping in the original. They had that
Mhm.
pool, and I feel like it's kind of a maybe a classic L word
Yeah.
move to have someone skinny dipping. So I found it a little out of character for Danny, but I also was like, yeah, maybe Danny's gonna live a little too. So I was there for it. What'd you
Mhm.
think? Live
Same.
it
I
up?
was I was a little bit okay, it was very much in the same vein of Danny getting rescued by Dre and then 5 seconds later like falling into Dre's arms making out. Like,
Yeah,
is this believable?
cliche.
Oh, it doesn't matter. They're hot. They're in the pool. They're naked. They're getting it on. Okay, I'm with it.
It's fine if it's not believable if it's hot.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
rule of
As
the
long as
showbiz.
it's hot, then I don't need to believe it. I can see
You
it
either got to
and
be
that's fine.
believable or hot. If
Yeah,
it's
one of
both,
the 2.
great. Yeah.
I mean, I think they have good chemistry. I think that Dre also has good chemistry with Sophie. And so I thought that this was
Mm.
like the actor they chose to hire Dre like was doing a good job of like showing like, oh, this is a little bit of a triangle. Like Dre has had chemistry with Sophie and for sure has chemistry with Danny.
Do you think Dre is going to be the new Shane? Do you think Dre is not going to end up with anybody?
No, because these writers don't give us anything that is like that we can like hold on to like that. No.
Mm.
I'm hoping Dre becomes like a new almost a new permanent cast member since we're losing Bet and
Right.
Gigi. Um
Hmm.
but I don't have any faith in the writers that they would do that with Dre. I think instead they're going to utilize Dre to try to replace that relationship with that Danny and Gigi had, even though there's like no way that
Oh.
it'll compare. Like
So you don't think they're going to replace, like, Shane's going to settle down? There's going to be a new Shane?
that's what should happen. They should do that. But no, I don't think they're going to have. First of all, I don't think they're going to show Dre this sort of love that the original show gave Shane. Like I think Dre
Mm.
there almost as like more of a prop to serve the Danny and Sophie
Mm.
storyline. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they will have Dre be the new Shane.
Hmm. Yeah. It does seem like they're going to end up with somebody, right? Like,
Mhm.
I'm thinking, maybe I'm just hopeful that it's Danny. I feel like power couple, that would be fun.
The one thing that is in their favor for having Dre be a Shane character is that their relationship is also professional in that Danny's managing Dre. So if
Mm.
Dre and Danny don't work out romance-wise, then maybe Dre will be able to stick around in the friend group because, they continue to work
Yeah.
together professionally.
That's true. They could do both, honestly. They could
Mhm.
date a little while and then Dre's too wild. Dre's too much of a rock star.
Yeah. You know what? A lot of fans want Dani now to end up with Roxy from a few episodes ago. What do you think
Oh.
of that?
Ooh.
Who would you rather have Dani end up with, Dre or Roxy?
Ooh. Hmm. I was gonna say Dre, but now I'm a little torn. I don't know. I'm still gonna say Dre. It's fun revenge.
Yeah.
Revenge. How about
Yeah,
you? Would you
I
prefer
feel like we
Roxy?
know Dre better than Roxy.
Yeah,
Roxy
it's
was,
more of a
like,
gamble.
even more of a prop and less of a significant character, so I, like, want to see characters that I know, that I'm gonna get to know, and that are gonna have, like, substantial
Hmm.
storylines, um, but I was intrigued by Roxy, like, it wouldn't
Hmm.
bother me if they ended up putting Dani with Roxy.
Do you think Dani will ever have to go testify in court? She was like her dad's right hand man. She's
What
not on
is
the run. She's not in court. She's just kicking it.
we have gotten at least with, like, the Tom marriage proposal in episode 6, they dropped this, like, little breadcrumb. Oh, yeah, in episode 7, we learned, oh, yeah, Alice rejected Tom. We have gotten
Hmm.
absolutely nothing on what
Right.
happened with Dani and her
Yeah.
dad and the whole like, Dani ended last season in jail and just no mention, nothing.
Yeah. Right?
What do you think
I
in the
don't know.
writers' minds happened? Like, she just made bail and refused to ever talk to her dad again?
Yeah, I don't know, but I feel like even if she refused to talk to him, she was heavily involved in the company, right?
Right,
So
yeah, she
like,
would be getting, like having mediations and having to talk to
hmm
lawyers, yeah.
like I don't know if maybe the writers thought like it wasn't sexy enough or something, but I mean, it wasn't really before. I don't know. I'm thinking like it would be interesting to see if she would like testify against her dad, or if she would try to do some kind of like plead the fifth or some kind of, I don't know. Like it'd be interesting to see her conflict because
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. There's just kind of like, well, that happened. Anywho's, like,
You mentioned, like, catering to the fans. I will say, I think in season 2, they did a lot of plot lines that were, like, separate from lesbian relationship drama, and it
mhm.
was, I think in season 1, Bet running for mayor totally worked, and
Oh
then,
yeah.
she didn't work it, but in season 2, the plot line with the art gallery and then the Danny's dad stuff, I don't think it did hit with fans, and I do wonder
Mm.
if Marja Lewis Ryan, the showrunner, I wonder if she was like, "This just isn't working, the fans don't like it, I'm just gonna brush this aside and pretend it didn't happen."
Yeah, because I feel like television show running is so different now that the internet, you instantly know what fans are into and what they're mad about, pretty much.
And they
So,
only
I mean,
wrote half the season last year, and then they started writing as the season was airing, so you're totally right.
like Snakes on the Plane, that changed the game. People don't talk about that often. We know Snakes on the Plane, they rewrote it based off some like people like fan fictioning about what they wanted Samuel Jackson to say, and a lot of the
I know.
lines that hit were all from fans, basically. So yeah, I'm guessing yeah, maybe they were bored by it, but I feel like at least like you said, like they mentioned the marriage proposal and moved on. Like, give us
They're not giving
something.
us anything. They won't give
No,
us
like
anything.
you could give her a hot lawyer or something. I don't know. Like,
You're like, "There's a way to do this and cater to the fans who are just wanna see
yeah,
hot ladies."
right.
Speaking of things they dropped, another thing that they absolutely have not mentioned is Gigi just completely leaving
Yeah.
everything. She's just gone. There's no
Mhm.
She went from being a full-time character to probably the most beloved new character on the show,
Yeah.
and now no mention of her whatsoever. That of course, a lot of the Gigi fans are really upset about that.
Mhm. Yeah, I like Gigi. My girlfriend didn't like her. I thought she was entertaining.
Oh, I know your
Um,
girlfriend doesn't like her. I have talked to your girlfriend,
oh,
and
you
I've been like, "What? What? How is
I
this
don't even know
possible?"
why. Yeah.
She
Um,
has a lot of she's got she's not the first person who has qualms with Gigi's,
oh.
like, aggressiveness towards Dani.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it just
that's
turned me
true.
on. I wasn't like bothered by
I was like, Danny's grown, I guess. Because I don't know, Danny just seems so logical and like on top of it, even though there's an age difference. I don't know. But yeah, I thought they were gonna kill Gigi. And then I was like, this is terrible. They're just gonna kill her in this car accident. And so then I was relieved they didn't, but then I was like, oh, I bet they are metaphorically killing her though. And
Yes,
they
they
did.
did kill her. Yep.
It
Just
was like a
not literally.
metaphor. They were like, "We're killing her," but that would piss you off a little too much. So we're just kidding, not killing her, but she's gone.
Maybe they
So
wanted to
yeah,
kill her, but they knew that the online reaction would just be a bunch of bury your gays hashtags and didn't want to have to deal with that.
yeah, yeah. So especially her being like on the phone and right before, like that was
Right, that was dangerous.
stressful.
Mhm. Oh my god.
So
I
yeah,
have, like, PTSD from that scene where it was just like, bam, the truck, like, runs into her. I was like, "Ah!
yeah,
Oh my god."
right, yeah. So I was like, they can't kill her. It's too extreme. But yeah, and they have not explained where she went. Like
I
they
don't
could
think
have
they're
sent her
going
to
to.
like rehab or something since she got in the accident, like
Oh, right.
physical rehab,
Yeah.
not alcohol
I
rehab.
was like,
That would,
"Oh, that would be random," but it's
although she
yeah, that'll
was,
work.
or no, wait, no, she wasn't the one drinking, was she?
No, I don't think they've
Uh,
ever showed her have
no, no,
any
no.
sort
That
of
was
issues.
her ex-wife that was drinking, right? At the
Nat?
straw.
Oh, right, right.
Nat was
Oh,
drinking a
actually,
lot.
though, she was drinking while on painkillers when they go to the Alice show, so
Oh
not exactly
yeah.
the most responsible behavior.
No, not safe. I don't know if they said if there was Tylenol in them or not, but that's always the
Yeah.
big question. But yeah, no, yeah, so I don't know. I got the feeling they were gonna maybe cut to her and Nat getting back together.
I mean, they did. They got back together in the car, and Dani threw the oranges, and, like, that's it. That's the end of Gigi.
But that's what I mean, like cut back to like, and now they're
Oh,
doing their
no.
thing,
I
like
don't think
after they
so.
got back together. But I guess I don't know, that wouldn't be
It
that
would make more
exciting.
sense if they did that. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe we'll get, like, some Nat and Gigi in these last 3 episodes, but I am 99.9% positive this is all we've seen of Gigi for season 3.
Yeah, that's probably it. I don't know. They was she's a real estate agent? I can't think of a way to bring her back. Time to sell your house.
Wouldn't that be funny if in season 4 they did, like, again, they don't talk anything about her leaving the show, they
Yeah.
just, like, randomly have her showing, like,
Yes.
Finley or somebody a house. Carrie.
Honestly, they should. 'Cause, like, I feel like a lot of people just like her for eye candy, so
Oh,
she could
yeah.
just, she could just show up in Vanna White that, just like, check
No,
out this house.
if they're not able to secure Seppi, they're just gonna Photoshop in, like, a picture of, like, they're gonna fade in a picture of Gigi randomly in some scene and then just not talk about it, but it'll be like, "There's your eye candy, Gigi fans."
Yep. Put her on some billboards, some real estate billboards that were
Yes.
showing houses.
You know
Just
what?
make
That
her,
would be
like, over
amazing.
the top. Why not? Just lean into it?
Just do it. If that's all we can get, just do it.
Mhm.
Well, did you have any other thoughts on this episode?
I'm trying to think if there's any other ones. I have you ever heard I feel like I don't know, maybe I'm overreading this, but the "Can I refill that glass for you?" I've never heard that as a pickup line.
Wait,
The
okay,
innuendo.
is when
Um,
is this who says this?
um, who said it? Now I don't even remember who said it, but I just remember being like, "What?" when I heard it. It didn't
Was
even
it Dre
really
to Sophie, maybe?
make any sense to me. I should have
Was
put
it
a note
Fletcher?
who said
Fletcher
it.
and Dre had an interesting scene. It was just like them at the bar, and I thought it was so weird where Fletcher was like, "I'm just really happy to be in on the beginning of your music career." And I was like, "What? Fletcher, this huge star, like they don't care about some nobody at the bar." Like, I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah, just because they'd like just met. I
Mhm.
almost got the feeling. Did you get the vibe Fletcher was like flirty, or is that just like how
Ooh.
Fletcher is? I don't know
I think
Fletcher well enough.
Fletcher is just a flirty person all the
Mm,
time. And I also think that's part of Fletcher's like branding is,
that's what I was wondering. Yeah.
you
Okay.
know, which successful branding on Fletcher's part. It has worked. The community is
Wise.
like, yes, we will
Yeah,
flirt with you.
just always be flirting.
Yeah.
How to get ahead in
Well,
showbiz.
yes, just be always flirting, and that's how you'll get ahead. What are your overall thoughts on season 3 so far?
Um, you know, I feel like it's been a little all over the place, but I've still enjoyed watching it. Like the musical ayahuasca situation, I was like, where did this come from? What's happening? But I was like, but you know what? I'm a sucker for a good trip.
Did you like it? Did you like the musical episode?
I kind of did because they didn't make the songs too long. I feel like they could have they walked the line of almost overdoing it on the music, and I felt like they kept it under wraps. Like I don't know, I enjoy because I'm not usually a huge musical person, so they did a good job intertwining it with the drugs. Otherwise, it just would have made no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm not a musical person at all, and I liked the
Mm.
episode. I liked it.
Ah,
I was
see, so
different than
that's
you,
like
though.
they
I
did
actually
well.
wanted more music. So
And when you think about it, you get like I almost said the words. You don't get enough queer musicals. I went, wait a minute, wait a minute. I was like, yeah, they
Well,
all are, but
yeah.
no, but you don't get too many more, I guess, masculine presenting musicals, right? Like you had Shane as the sailor, and you had like these like cool guy kind of lady characters, and you don't get that too often. I feel like a lot of musicals cater to like cis gay men, right?
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool to see a musical that was like a little different, and they had all different styles, and of course they actually like a lot of things in the show they don't explain like what happened to why is this happening and that, but
Right.
they did explain why they were all singing with the drugs. So like,
I
I
know,
thought it
it's,
was
like,
some of their best
weird that
writing.
they even introduced this package. You would have thought they just, threw it in there with no explanation whatsoever.
Yeah, yeah, but they actually explained it, and I like too the kind of wink how Shane was like musical. But then I
Right.
thought Shane had one of the like most fun songs, or numbers, the way they had it running around and stuff. So
Did Shane have a
yeah.
number, or did Shane dance to other people singing a
Well, yeah, I
number?
don't know if she really sang, did she? She spoke. She said,
Yeah.
"Oh no."
She did her part as a hot sailor, so
Yeah, I mean, they just needed her to do the dancing, the running
mhm.
around. So yeah, I thought they did well with it. Without, yeah, if Shane would have randomly been like belting it out, that would have been too weird, out of character, right? Like, I like that they had her running away from the musical in the musical, being like,
Yeah.
"Goddamn musical,"
Yeah,
and
that
then
seems
they
about
they
right.
made it part of it. So like, yeah, I thought they did a pretty good job with what they had there. So I don't know. It's a little all over the place, but I'm enjoying it. So that's kind of what matters, right?
Yeah, I'm with you. I There's been a lot of discourse online about how bad the writing is, and it's not like I
Mm.
disagree with any of those points at all. Like I can't be like, "You're wrong. This show is they're giving award-winning scripts here," and it's just okay. I cannot disagree. But I definitely am not hating this season. Like, some people don't want a 4th season, and I'm like, "What? No,
Ooh.
I totally want a 4th season." Like, I'm having fun with this so far.
I guess I just have low expectations for the writing. So, and as a writer, like I write scripts, like usually bad writing drives me up the wall. But if it's like, okay, I can get behind it if it's like so bad it's silly, like Jenny. I love
Right.
Jenny because it's like so ridiculous that you're like, this is great. But I could see, yeah, if they don't get the writing together, the show not lasting much longer. So, but I'm just happy that it's not like, I mean, and I'm old, so I could be wrong, but I'm not finding it extremely problematic. So, like, that's a win for me in the writing. After, like, what was the Sex in the City? That was so offensive from the
Yeah.
jump.
Mhm.
Like, that show, every minute of it that I heard, I couldn't even watch it. Like, so I don't know. I'm just happy that they're like doing the work in that sense. But like I said, I'm old. Maybe there could have been something I missed. But
Yeah. No, I think they could keep striving to have better representation. Like
right,
Marsha Lewis Ryan has like gone on, in public and been like, I put Micah and Maribel together because I wanted a sex scene with somebody that had a
right.
disability. And I think, great, better than, oh, we're just not going to care at all about representation. But the
Mhm.
next step above that is I care so much about characters that are disabled or characters that are trans that I am going to put more effort into these characters and these character scenes, and I'm going to make it something that everybody's like really blown away by the writing and the performances and by the chemistry. I think they could go up to that next level
Oh,
if
for
they want to
sure.
keep trying. But I
Yeah,
do appreciate the effort in representation and trying to, but certainly the show has not, is not perfect. There's more learning to do, more ways to get
for
better.
sure. Yeah, I don't know if it's that they need more representation in their writing room or what it is exactly. I don't know really what their writing room looks like, but yeah,
I've just
they've
been told
got to
it's
get a
very
little
young,
together.
like a lot of first-time
Uh,
writers. That's all I
that
know.
would explain a lot on the fact that it's not like dated stereotypes or whatever, but that the writing's a little all over the place. So that kind of makes sense. They might need to balance their writing room a little more. Like it's good if they have like younger representation, but maybe have some seasoned writers that are kind of like,
Mhm.
okay, we're gonna punch it up, or we're gonna, you know, I don't know. I think if you punch it up, even if the writing's bad, if it's hilarious, I'm always down for
Right?
that. I don't
Like,
know if I'm the
we're
only one,
suckers for a laugh, you know?
but yeah. So even then, if some storylines are a little weird, like it's like, well, if it's hot and it's funny, it's not problematic. But no, I mean, it would be nice if they stepped it up a little, and we'll see. I don't know. They've kind of pigeonholed Micah a little bit, but with the baby, they could turn it around.
See, I think they're headed towards a Micah Maribel breakup, um,
Oh,
but maybe I'm wrong.
possible.
Like, do you think they're gonna yeah, like, do you think they're gonna have them, like, be successful and have a baby and that's, like, where they're going for season 4, if we get one?
Yeah, I originally thought no because Maribel was talking about her family and how she didn't want to deal with her issues, and I was like, "Ooh, that could hold things up there." So I kind of thought no, but I don't know. I think they. I just get the feeling they want like there to be like a stable family character. So I kind of get the feeling they're going to try to push for it, but I don't know. I could be wrong. You're right. They very well could break up. They haven't really been going out that long, right?
No, and they didn't
Like a year?
portray how they fell in love. It was sort of just like, yeah, we'll see. Who it could be either way. Um,
And were they weren't living together till are they now? Because like
yeah, they live together now.
now they are.
They
Yeah.
moved in together, I believe, over the between season 2 and season 3.
Right, right. Yeah.
Um,
So that's kind of like a new thing.
but
So
the way that had like, oh, Micah hadn't even told his mom about Maribel and stuff like that,
mm,
it is
mhm.
weird to go from like that
Yes.
to we're having a family, we're having kids together. That's like a big
Yeah.
jump.
Right. Exactly. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm curious what they're gonna do. They either way, because if Micah gets single, there's room for growth. But I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I don't see Micah not coming. Like I don't see Micah suddenly, being like, I'm gonna live a little. I don't see that happening.
No, it would not make sense for how they've portrayed his character.
Yep. He'd probably stay a little in his shell. But like you said, maybe they could show. Like I found his job interesting. Now they've kind of let that go.
Right.
I don't know, but maybe that would be hard to maintain. But
My
like
favorite
you
thing
said, there
about
aren't many storylines.
yeah. I thought that they should revisit Micah and his mom because that first season when he had a scene with her and she's being like kind of disrespectful and not understanding where he's coming from, I found that to be extremely compelling. So I would love to see that, but who knows?
Yeah, but then if they show Finley's family too,
Right? Are they going to do it for both? Probably not.
yeah, that'd be like a lot of
Yeah.
family. Too much
So
family time. I don't know.
Well,
we shall
I
see.
want to thank Amy Nico Schwartz for coming on to the podcast again. Make sure you follow Amy on Instagram so you can stay up to date with all her shows. I will be linking the show on February 3rd in the description so that you, if you are in Chicago or if you are nearby in the Midwest, you can hit up Whiskey Girl for Laugh Dance. So that first show is on a Friday. Make sure you hit the description up for that.
Oh,
And
it's
we did
free. I
it.
forgot to say.
Oh, it's free too.
Sorry.
Wait. Oh,
Yes.
big news.
I don't
Yeah.
know why I left that out. Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, make sure that's so you're not going to want to miss out. I mean, you were talking about the show, variety show, music, comedy, all kinds of fun stuff
Yes,
that
it
is going to be
should
coming
be
up.
a big old party. Should be a good time. Yeah. Thanks so much for having me. This is a ton of fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming on and doing the first Lescast of 2023.
Oh, I'm
Hello.
honored.
Yeah. Listeners, make sure you're subscribed because we've got episode 8 coming up and then the return of Bet and Tina for the last 2 episodes of the season. You don't want to miss all the fun coming up. All right, everybody, stay safe and I will talk to you next time.